The mercenary known as Bullseye first appeared in Daredevil number 131 and 132 in 1976. It was a typical New York evening when a paper airplane careened through the air towards the 17th story office of a businessman named Honeycutt. Miraculously, the paper struck the glass in such a way that it broke through and embedded itself in the wall behind it. Unfolding the paper plane to investigate, Honeycutt discovered a chilling ransom demand. Before the man could even fully comprehend what was happening, he looked over to see an intimidating figure in a strange costume. Pulling a pen from Honeycutt's desk, the costumed man identified himself as Bullseye and demanded the money immediately. Naturally, the businessman didn't have that amount of cash readily available, and so Bullseye threw the pen, piercing Honeycutt's throat, killing him. When the masked vigilante Daredevil arrived on the scene, the police were already there. It seemed as though Bullseye never intended or expected to get the money from Honeycutt, but rather left him as an example to others and to build his infamy. Before Daredevil could go out in search of the murderous Bullseye, he was approached by Jake Conover, a reporter from the Daily Bugle, who offered him more information. Back at his Daily Bugle office, Conover explained that Bullseye was once a soldier who fought in Vietnam. Even then, he had the uncanny ability to turn any thrown object into a deadly weapon. After the war, he became a mercenary in Africa, where he continued to hone and improve his skills. As for how Conover knew all of this, it's revealed that Bullseye himself told him in another bid to build his reputation. Daredevil went out in search of the killer when a hand grenade flew past him. The grenade exploded, stunning Daredevil and forcing him to the ground where he first encountered Bullseye face to face. Bullseye led the blind hero to the site of their first battle, a circus tent where their fight would be televised and seen by many. Dazed by the explosion, and with the safety of the crowd and the performers to worry about, Daredevil was kept on the back foot the entire time as Bullseye outmaneuvered him at every turn. In the end, Bullseye used a special gun to evaporate a large pool of water, flooding the circus tent in steam and dispersing the crowd into a blind panic. The villain escaped, confident that his performance would have given him the infamy he craved, allowing him to threaten and extort whomever he wished with little resistance. He soon put this to the test with another elderly aristocrat. His intended victim attempted to call the police, but before Bullseye could kill him in retaliation, Daredevil arrived and attacked. Unhindered and in close quarters, Daredevil this time gained the upper hand. Not allowing his opponent to fight back, Daredevil defeated Bullseye and left him for the police. Of course, this would be far from their last battle as Bullseye returned again and again to challenge Daredevil. It seems Bullseye's attempts to build his credentials paid off as well when he became the chief assassin for New York's most notorious crime lord, Wilson Fisk, the kingpin of crime. However, after Bullseye was defeated by Daredevil yet again, his position under Fisk was given to Daredevil's former love, the ninja assassin Elektra. After learning this from the Punisher, who was also in prison at the time, Bullseye escaped custody and challenged his replacement. This fight ended when Bullseye pierced Elektra's body with her own weapon, fatally wounding her. Elektra survived just long enough to make it to the home of Daredevil's civilian identity, Matthew Murdock, where she died in his arms. The ensuing battle between Daredevil and Bullseye was a brutal one, with both opponents trading bone-shattering blows. This time the fight ended when Daredevil allowed his foe to fall from the rooftops, striking the pavement below. Bullseye survived the fall, but his body was broken and completely paralyzed. This would not be the end of his career, however. A masked Japanese criminal known as Dark Wind brokered a deal with the Kingpin. He intended to take the injured assassin back to Japan where he would repair his broken body. Through a combination of modern science and ancient techniques, Bullseye's bones were repaired and reinforced with a metal that is later revealed to be adamantium, the same metal bonded to Wolverine's skeleton. Seeking to stop this, Daredevil traveled to Japan where he teamed up with Darkwind's daughter, Yuriko, who hated her father for branding her face and getting her brothers killed in his crusade. While Yuriko succeeded in killing her father, Bullseye was already on his way back to America, more dangerous than ever before. And that is the origin of Bullseye. While some details about his past are later given, Bullseye himself proves to be an unreliable narrator, as things are either proven false or he outright admits to lying. For example, in the second issue of Elektra, it's implied that Bullseye killed his abusive father by making him shoot himself in the forehead while passed out drunk. However, Daredevil at one point claims to have discovered Bullseye's true past and says that he never even knew his real father. Later, Bullseye tells the authorities that his father died in a house fire set by his brother, only for it to be later revealed that Bullseye started the fire himself and that his father was in fact still alive. Even his real name is unknown, with his given name likely being either Lester or Leonard, and his last name still unrevealed. What we can be confident of is that Bullseye had a short-lived but successful baseball career. This was mentioned by Jake Conover in his first appearance, and shown in the miniseries Bullseye Greatest Hits. However, he was ejected from the league after he killed a batter with a baseball, and was charged for manslaughter. However, because of his skills, rather than being sent to jail, he was recruited by the CIA and the NSA. And of course we know the rest. After some time working for the US government, he became a mercenary for hire before returning to the United States to establish himself as the notorious supervillain. Finally, let's talk about the target-shaped mark on his forehead. Originally simply part of his mask, he is clearly seen without the mark in the one-shot Daredevil the Target, although at the end of that book, the mark is hinted at by drawing the target on his forehead in wine. When he next appeared in number 48 and 49 of the second Daredevil series, he had the mark in the form of a tattoo. By this point, Bullseye had also killed Daredevil's longtime love interest, Karen Page, and so when he threatened the woman he was involved with at the time, Daredevil snapped. After beating him down, Daredevil carved the target symbol into his forehead with a sharp rock. And that's all for this week. If you liked this video, please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe for more marvelous content. Also, if you want to share this video on your favorite social medias, that would help me a lot. As always, the books referenced in this video are listed in the description below if you would like to read them for yourself, along with links to other places you can find me online. Don't forget that you can join the Merry Marvel Society over on Discord, and if you support me on Patreon, you'll gain the title of Mighty Avenger and a slick golden name. You can also find me on Tumblr if you like art of Marvel characters, Instagram if you like pictures of cats, and Twitter if you want to see all of that and more. So until next time, true believers, Excelsior!